afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is Nigeria Now on Equa International Television. And I have my beautiful colleague here, Joyce Jakada.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Pleasant afternoon to our viewers out there.
Yes, we're talking 11 days to the general election.
True.
And then the atmosphere is getting tense already, but with 11 days to go, military are saying that the election, they will ensure that it holds. And then, we are now having some polling units that INEC are telling us that they will not participate in this coming general election. And then you have the issue of the IGP accusing Oduduwa Nation agitators, and IPOP that they are trying to sabotage this general election. So with all of this, and then people will be like, wow, so where are we? And just 11 days to come. The Nigerians don't want to hear anything like this election would not hold, because a lot of money have been sunk into the preparation. You see Mr. President, commissioning, the vehicles, being acquired by police in order to make sure that this election is peaceful. So with all of this,
well, if you ask me, expectations are high, even though there was a little distraction talking about the Naira redesign policy, like from the deadline, the earlier deadline, 31st of January, down to when it was postponed to 10th of February, and down to when the Apex Court gave an ex parte ruling. Like, there was a distraction because everybody is just worried, concerned about how to get cash. They've deposited their money, but they are unable to withdraw cash, or there has been some kind of limits to the withdrawal and all of that. So if you ask me, that was like a distraction from the main issue, because prior to this time, Nigerians have been looking forward to the 2023 election, even though, yes, we're still looking forward to it. Talks were on top gear. Politicians were up and about, traveling from one state to the other, trying to canvass support, see them with some of the stakeholders, trying to go there and prove themselves worthy. And we saw that even in Plateau State, how some of the political parties came and then did their campaigns around here. But more like campaigns are still going on, but the Naira redesign or Naira scarcity, it became like a distraction to Nigerians. But it's 11 days, in case people are unaware, to the presidential election. And I think all our attention should get back to, because that decision, that day, 25th of February, should be a day you're going to make decision that your children, your children's children will clap for you, that yes, you made the right choice. So if we don't take our attention back to these candidates and then scrutinize them, look at people that have Nigeria at heart, and then elect them to represent us at different position, then I think we'll be doing harm if we're going to divert our attention. Because why I'm concerned about the fact that it's a distraction, for some people, they might use that as an excuse, like, why am I coming out when some people are already discouraged and developing political apathy? Like, there's no need. Like, the same crop of leaders, they will come and make policies that will keep suffering. So instead of me to go out and vote, I would just rather stay. But that would be the worst thing you do to yourself, because think about the next 4-8 years. And if the same parties that becomes wins the election continue, that's like 16 years. If they rule for another 8 years. So would you want to suffer again for that long, or you want to be deliberate about making your decision? So the INEC have already come out to tell us that 240 polling units are not going to be, election will not hold in that polling unit. So people are already scared, like, hope it's not my polling unit.
Across 28
so
states.
I won't be disenfranchised. So these 240 polling units that won't be participating, according to INEC, cut across 28 states, FCT inclusive, these polling unit voters in these affected polling units. And like I said, security reasons, some people have left that place and nobody has transferred to that location. And you talk about the fact that there are new number of polling units too. Before now we had about 119,000, but now we have about 176,000 yes, polling units. So they said we have new numbers of polling units, and they have also expanded this polling unit. So for some people, it's not going to be where you voted the last time. INEC have expanded the polling unit, so you will be receiving text message from INEC to tell you if your polling unit has been changed, because they did that through with their state officers as well, and they consulted the people that are affected. So I think there is going to still be some confirmation messages that will be sent to them in case your polling unit was transferred from this location to that location. It's still within the same environment or the same ward. It won't be like your place is just not, they'll carry you to Lankan. No, it's not going to be like that. So it's still going to be within the same ward. And INEC have said that they are going to be sending SMS to those people that have been transferred, their polling units have been transferred. Again, you can go to INEC's website to check, confirm your polling unit. Maybe you are scared if your polling is among the affected one, the 240 polling units that won't be participating. You can go to INEC's website. They will be displaying a phone number. You can send a message or you can chat the number, and it's going to respond to you confirming your polling unit. So I think that is very important for Nigerians to know. And you recall that in January, INEC came out to say that we have about 93.4 million eligible registered voters. And they said with this number, it's actually applaudable because there was an increase, and because of the increase as well and the expectation, they also said that they are not contemplating even extending or postponing the election. So polling units have been expanded. In 2021, it was 119,973. But as of 2023, the polling units remain 176,846. And when you take away that 240 polling unit out of these 176,846, you get 176,606. So it means right now the polling units that election is going to be taking place is 176,606. In this polling unit, election is going to hold. And if you want to confirm, like I said, go to INEC website. There's a phone number. You can just send text message to confirm that. So it's important that you know your polling unit through the website. And then, like I said, those that have been assigned new polling units, they are going to be informed by INEC. So that is that about the new the 240 polling units that won't be participating. So most Nigerians saw the headline and then people were just scared. Why? And then you know the fact that every vote counts. So could it be that some people have been disenfranchised? What happened to the people there? No, most people, according to INEC, that were there have transferred from there, and there's no new registered voters.
That indicate interest that they want to vote in that particular location.
So basically, that is it. The former Senator Shehu Sani was talking about the fact that it's important that INEC display these 240 polling units so that people, it shows responsibility and transparency. It also shows accountability. When you do that, people are going to be seeing it, so that when they see it, at the end of the day, when result is being announced, you won't be hearing that same polling unit that was cancelled and then you're hearing numbers. So it's important that INEC have already released the list of the 240 polling unit. So it's already on their website. It's important that Nigerians don't take this information for granted. Let's take note of those polling units, and then when results are being announced, we go through it as well to ensure that nothing is coming from there, since INEC said election is not going to be taking place. And again, what is of concern to me is the fact that our political parties, just before the campaign kick-started, they signed a peace accord, and that everything is going to be peaceful. But contrary to that, what we kept seeing is violence, like attacks. PDP were attacked, Labour Party or APC complained of attack cut across states. And the most recent one is that the one that happened in Lagos over the weekend, where some of the party supporters of Labour Party were attacked, and there were some machetes mark across their body and all of that. And that's not the first time that is happening in Lagos. I think people should understand the fact that no state have monopoly of talks. But what we are concerned about is the fact that the main point of interest is Nigeria, the growth of Nigeria. That's what we should be thinking. If APC will come for rally in the state and then it's peaceful, PDP, why would you attack the other party? If we're already attacking people now, what happens when the result is being announced? It's a game. There must be a winner and there must be a loser. We shouldn't be seen doing all of that. I think I was talking about the fact that even the Naira design came as a distraction at this point, even though INEC said that one of it is to mitigate vote buying. But if we are seeing engaging in some of these violent actions and all of that, it might. This election that we don't want to hear any excuse, it might affect it at the long run. So we don't want anarchy. I think political party leaders should still be called back and be recommitted to this peace accord that they actually signed, because the election is in 11 days. So does that mean that if the winner is being announced at the end of the day, you start attacking the other people? No, we shouldn't be having that. And I think, like I said, the needful should be done. These people should be called. Yesterday, the INEC chairman was with the leaders. He was with the leaders of the political parties when he gave the announcement of these 240 polling units that won't be participating. I think there's need for us to engage these political parties, and then this is election, this is campaign. Allow people to come and express themselves. There shouldn't be need for violence or for attack. These people, before they came to the stadium, they were already attacked. So I think security agency need to do the needful. Already Labour Party have called on the security to stop attack on Labour Party supporters. This is not the first time. We've seen that in Kaduna, even in the same Lagos and other states. So I think security agencies should be up and about to mitigate this attack so we don't have anarchy at the end of the day. You were talking about the fact that IGP said that Oduduwa and then IPOP, like there's threat, attack of election and all of that. The same, we also saw how that army has said that they will ensure that election take place in that areas. And I think it's very important that election should hold everywhere. When you do election, everybody's eyes are on the police because they're the security agency that I think are in charge of the internal affairs. The ones
settled with that responsibility.
So I think it's important. Just yesterday, the president commissioned some equipment for the police to aid ahead of the 2023 general election. But beyond the equipment, I think there's need for training. Even psychological. It shouldn't just be physical, because these equipment were bought so that it can be used for the benefit of Nigerians. Let's not see them using it against Nigeria. This is not the first time we're seeing such cases. So when you talk about election, what comes to mind is before now, ballot snatching and all of that. But now it has gone beyond that. So I think training of personnel should be key, and we should see that their welfare too is taken care of, because if you don't take care of their welfare, these people can just be aggressive at the end of the day. So we've seen instances that before now elections, people just snatch ballot boxes and nothing is being done because they come with some gun, start shooting and all of that. So when you give them equipment, before the equipment, make sure they are trained. They are trained so that these equipment are going to will be used for the benefit of Nigeria. And I think when that is done, it's going to be really helpful to achieve a successful election.
Yeah, I'm so happy, the way the president is moving and his body language, particularly when it comes to the issue of this general election, because when he was talking to the police, he's telling them that they should be up and about, because he is hoping and trusting God that Nigerians will be allowed, to vote, their choice. That let the choice of Nigerians reflect at the end of this election. So by that, he's already putting the police, on their toes. That you have to do everything possible to protect these votes that will be coming on that day. You talked about the issue of ballot snatching, that I would say when you talk about Nigerian election, it's something that is common. But if you see the new law now, any voting in any polling unit, it means cancellation, total cancellation. Any violence in any polling unit means total cancellation. So some people can just take advantage of that, and then maybe that's not even their polling unit, but they know they are not strong there. They will just mobilize and then bring people from another area to just come and cause problem there, so that that particular polling unit will be cancelled.
So there should be collaboration between the police and the community and even the people around that place, so that they will ensure that the election is free, without any violence or any attack, any threats to violence, attack, or any violence. Like it should be attacked immediately, so that at the end of the day your votes will not just like your votes
somebody will not just come from
and
somewhere and then disenfranchise you, you know, in your own polling unit, cause problem, and then you leave. Because you talk about training, and that's the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. It is very key, it's very important, because you can't watch. I can't be so confident, come out to vote, and then there are securities, you know, being assigned to my polling unit, and then somebody will come from somewhere and then be able to do whatever he is asked to do, and then get away with it. So we have to be proactive, and that's the reason why we're talking about the training, because they have to consider all of these things. That how do you prevent things like this, because they will come. You know, all these politicians, they have their own strategy and their own calculations.
We have the case of ballot snatching, since we're now, the beavers have been introduced. Yeah. But like you said, some people can just come and cause confusion at the polling unit.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They can just come and start beating people, destroy the election materials there, and then they will just say that the people in that community are the ones that are fighting, and they will just cancel. You know,
so it's important that the police take note of this escalation mechanism, because people can just come up with it to just cause a problem. So let's see collaboration between the police and then the INEC and the community as well. And so that when there's any escalation mechanism, it can be averted. And when we do that, I think we can have a system where everybody is somebody. And like that's the whole aim. Electing leaders that will represent the people, that the focus will be Nigerians. It won't be selfish interests. And when we have such leaders in place, of course, everybody will be somebody without the help of nobody. So because today in Nigeria, it's not about your competence. Sometimes you see people graduate, they have good grades, but they don't have the opportunity to work in some of our parastatals. That is why they keep moving out of the country. It is who you know. We don't want to keep having this system. Let's make Nigeria
Let's keep the good brain.
Let's make Nigeria work again. I always say Nigeria is a great nation. We have a lot, like so many resources to take care of everybody's need. We are where we are because of the greed of few individuals. So as we look forward to 2023 general election, presidential, National Assembly, the governorship and State House of Assembly, let's ensure, let's not be distracted. Let's not be distracted. If you have suffered enough and you don't want this suffering to extend to your children and your children's children, don't vote on the basis of personal interest. Vote credibility, vote competence, vote somebody that will stand for you and your future generation. Let's not forget that any decision that is taken today have ripple effect. So if the decision is negative, it's going to impact not just on us, but even our own generation. And that is why I say, as we elect people, let's elect the right ones, so that posterity, when they think back and they say, oh, it was our parent that voted for the right person, posterity will clap for you. But when you vote the wrong leader because of some selfish interest, and then posterity will not forgive you for doing the wrong thing. So let's not be distracted by whatever unemployment, out of school children, scarcity of naira, all of that. I know, as important as this is, we are talking. We are here, we are talking because we want to bridge the gap between the people and the government. We talk about the plight of the people, and we believe that the right authority are hearing us and the needful is going to be done. So as we talk about the challenges, let's see Nigerians too being proactive about voting the right person. And let's allow this election to be peaceful. Let's not allow anybody to make us move towards violence, protests, and all of that, that this election is going to be cancelled for those reasons. So you don't want your vote not to count. So desist from any activity that will lead to violence. Avert it by all means. So let's see our security agency up and about. I think they have, especially the police, they have a lot of work to do. Beyond the acquiring of this equipment, there is need for them to be up and about to ensure, like the president told them, all eyes are on them. The
Sure.
world is looking at them. Nigerians are looking at them. All eyes are on the police and the service chief. They must ensure they deliver. I remember how they swore when they were giving all these positions to do the right thing. Eyes are on them, and Nigerians will hold the president by his word that this election is going to be free, fair, and credible.
And you talk about the issue of the Odudua agitators and then IPOP, disrupting the general pools. It is very important if signals like this are coming. You have to identify those red spots, and then you can't just do the normal garbage in, garbage out, and then expect a different result. We had a series of elections, in this country, and we know how some of these politicians, some of these thugs, behave. Some are being hired just to make sure that, they disrupt certain process, and I'm happy because even INEC, raise all of those concerns that these are some of the things that they are foreseen, in the future that can make the election look not credible in the eyes of the international community. These are some of the things that we have to be proactive. Okay, now we know things like what are the mechanisms put in place, to make sure you cut down these issues, because it is very important, like you said, we have to make sure that this election work. We have to make sure that it's credible, it's free and fair, so that we'll hold the president by his word and by what he's doing, providing the INEC with all the necessary things that they need, providing the security with all the necessary equipment that they need.
Effort. I think we're going to have a peaceful election. So we urge this police to know, especially, that their work is not just during the election, but it's before, during, and after. So let's see them mapping out areas that have some security threat. Like we are seeing them mentioning some regions, some people that they have plans. Since you know already, so it means you can be proactive in averting it. That's an allegation. It was alleged by the IGP.
Yes,
so let's see proactive steps. Let's not just say it and then we allow it to happen before we start thinking of reactive measures. No. So they should map out an area of security threat, and they should ensure that there's assessment of the situation. Let's see collaboration too within the community, and then INEC, the security agencies as well. And when we see that collaboration in terms of any threat, they will be able to avert and do the needful. Nigeria is a great nation. I'll always say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Let's ensure that we have a system where everybody is somebody.
Thank you so much. Let's have a system.
My pleasure.
Yeah, let's have a system which everybody is somebody. Yeah, this is the much that we can take. But I think I need to say this to politicians. Remember, it's because this is Nigeria. That is why you are contesting. True. So make sure in conversing for vote, make sure you don't do anything that will scatter the peace of this country, because we love this country and we don't want, because of you, we will lose the country, the only country that we have. So please play by the rule. And for the electoral, whatever is happening now, you are watching. By 25th, at least, you should be able to know who exactly you are to cast your vote. So I want to encourage you, don't allow anything to discourage you with what is happening in the country. Just go out when the time is on, go and cast your vote, and then vote your conscience. Thank you so much for doing this with us. See you tomorrow. By God's grace, be kind to one another. Bye-bye.